Our media product uses a range of common codes and conventions that can be seen in both short and feature psychological horror films. An obvious common convention we use that is seen in short films is a low budget. We complied with this feature and used the school's equipment and resources from home as we were unable to yield that amount of money.
We decided that due to our low budget, it would be beneficial to our group to use one of our houses to film in. This allowed us to use the space whenever we wanted without charge. We felt that this adheres to the conventions of short films. Our low budget convention is furthered in the use of our actors. Rather than hiring professional actors at a large cost, we felt that it would conform more to the conventions of short films if we used the amateur actors. From this, we decided to use each member of the group, of which 2 studied drama and theatre studies, that this was beneficial to us as it brought a level of professionalism to the film.
In our film, we had 3 actors, a protagonist, antagonist, and an extra. We felt that props narrative theory was appropriate to our film. Our protagonist Joy posed as the princess, being portrayed as vulnerable and fragile. This is until the end of the film, when she defeats her abuser by gaining the upper hand, suggesting the illustration of the hero. Our antagonist, Harry, posed as the villain, disguised as Joy's friend until it is revealed in the denouement of the film that he is the rapist.
At this point, without realising, we had followed many common conventions of short films, as well as applying certain narrative theories such as prop to our work. As a group, we came to the conclusion that our short film complies with the uses and gratifications theory as it applies to an audience's social integrative needs. This is due to our actors being of a similar age to our target audience. This creates a personal relationship between the actor and audiences, which enables the audience to engage more with the film.
We included many common conventions which are generally used in horror films. For instance, we use low-key lighting in multiple shots as this plays on the common fear of the dark stereotypically manipulated in horror films. Furthermore, we also decided to shoot some of our scenes outdoors. In these, we relied fully on the street lamps, which produced an eerie horror look. This again is a stereotypical convention used in horror films.
We used various camera angles and shots in our film, ranging from POV shots to tracking shots to extreme close-ups to wide shots.
A high-angle shot was used to make her seem weaker and him more dominant. It creates a CCTV surveillance effect, which is quite voyeuristic.
Finally, another significant shot is the tracking shot of the protagonist in the kitchen. This shot creates the audience to feel as if someone is following the protagonist, enhancing their response of fear and conforming to the conventions of a stereotypical horror film. From researching into many short horror films, there are a few conventions in which we developed upon. For example, from looking into many films, the use of red lighting to connote danger is regularly used. However, we enhanced this convention and decided to use a multicoloured saturated effect in order to mimic the side effects of the drug Rohypnol, which was consumed by the protagonist.
This therefore manipulates the audience's perception of danger. Commonly, they would see red lighting and expect danger, yet when the audience sees the colourful effects, they are immediately tense.
Within our film, we also challenged common conventions of both short and horror films. For instance, the use of a linear narrative in horror films is stereotypically used. However, we opted to abide by a non-linear structure to our film, which added a unique quality. For example, the use of flashbacks from the protagonist's point of view are in order to create the image of her regaining memory of that fateful night.
Therefore, our short film does not exactly meet Todorov's equilibrium theory, however it applies to certain parts. For instance, Ode to Joy does not begin with an equilibrium. In fact, it opens with a rather disturbing rape scene and is more fitting to the disruption stage of Todorov's theory.
One could argue that the film's final scene could be seen to end in equilibrium, as it emotionally satisfies the audience, as the protagonist uncovers the truth of her rape. However, when she seeks revenge on the rapist, she results in supposedly killing the boy, which ultimately could suggest that the protagonist is conforming to the antagonist's mindset and ways.